Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and the biggest Blitzwing fanboy of them all. Do not panic. This is just a random review.
It's random review time once again, and this time I am very, very happy to be talking about this toy. Not only because it's really hard to get in the US right now, but also because it is something I have long awaited the return of into Transformers. We're talking about Crasher from Velocitron Wave 2. And yes, Crasher as in the GOBOT. It's been a long time coming. So I've said in the past, if any GOBOT character deserved to be, like, air quote, promoted into the status of Transformer, it was Crasher. Now, Crasher was given that promotion in 2007. She was repainted from Classics Mirage into Fracture. Close, and it is the inspiration for this deco. However, we didn't get the right name. Now, it's all aligned pretty well. Decepticon Crashers on the box. It looks like Crasher if she was a Formula 1 racer. Okay. I will take a little bit of a I'll take a little bit of a alteration. But for the most part, yeah, this is pretty fantastic. So, just to let you guys know, I'm trying out my new lights. They are very pretty. They are very bright. And hopefully you get a nice even color on the light here today. But I'm keeping the face cam off because, well, frankly, I don't know how to fit it all in. But here you go. We're going to talk about this beautiful little toy. So, like we said, F1 Racer. You can see I've already mounted the weapons on just to keep track of them. We can go ahead and take them off and get a cleaner look of the vehicle mode. And it is very, very nice. So we are dealing with we're dealing with the most recent Mirage mold, the Earth vehicle version. It is a very nice rendition of an F1 racer. Now, of course, it has the look, but let's be honest, it is not quite right. There are definitely alterations, so it's not the most realistic, but you know what? It looks good, and that is what I ask for. Lots of black going through this toy, making the deco work, and you get those bright hits of white going through it to break it up. Nice bit of red down the center, looks super sharp. Something that we'll go into in robot mode where I can show it best is there is a ton, and I do mean a ton of paint going on with this figure in order to make this homage work. It does make me appreciate it even more so because you could tell they really, really wanted to convey the character as much as they could. Keep in mind, legally, GoBots is in this weird area in the first place, especially like who owns the show completely. It's not Hasbro outright, so there's some weirdness here, as well as, the physical depiction of them is based on the old toys, which is Machine Robo, which Bandai still owns and operates and still regularly uses. So, okay, there's going to be a lot of things that don't look like the GoBot, but we'll accept it, all right? So I've never really talked about the mold on camera, so we'll go ahead and talk. Yeah, so nice rear section. You can pretend it's boosters or not, but there's no obvious robot junk. If you know how it transforms, you can tell all the robot parts, but that's for another day. A little bit of gunmetal gray here on the front spoiler. It looks really, really nice. Everything on this toy just looks beautiful. I love how different it is from Mirage. Even though they share that white color as one of the primaries, it just hits so different. I wouldn't confuse it for a Decepticon Mirage or an Evil Mirage. It is just gorgeous and definitely its own creation. Silver Decepticon logo right there at the top. Really, really nice. You can see where an interior is attempted. If I can bring the focus in a little bit, you can see a bit of a dashboard there in the front. Trying to get some kind of semblance that this is supposed to be something you sit in. I kind of wish the air inside was painted black, if only to give it a sense of depth. There is actually a cavity there, but I'll take what I can get. I mean, like I said, I'm really happy with how this thing looks. Aside from just a little bit of the vehicle kind of broken up there, that's really all I really have to say criticism-wise. I really like how the vehicle looks. Function-wise, we did show off the fact that there are 5mm ports right here, right beside the intake. So yeah, you can mount up some weapons there if you so choose. Crasher does come with quite a few. Yeah, yeah, very, very nice. All right, so enough of that. Let's get to the robot mode where we can really talk about the homage and where we can really get into just how much effort went into this toy. So I'm going to start by popping this off and separating what will eventually become the arms. Fold those up, get them out of the way. They are on these little hinges, like so. I'm going to go ahead and take the head out now, which is blasphemous. The head should come last in a transformation, but I want it out of the way now. So pop this thing down, flip the head forward, pop it back into place. Nice. And then we'll tuck the wheels in like so. I'm going to keep the arms up here right now, just for now, so I have the added extra clearance once we get into all of this. Everything else you see is going to fold up into the robot mode legs. They click in pretty snug here, so it takes a bit of a yank to pop the transformation on this and to get all this down. So once you've got those big panels opened up, you can go ahead and fold the inside wheels. Well, you can go ahead and fold the front wheels to the inside. Let's say things correctly for once. And that's going to let you bring everything down and fold the foot out as well while you're doing it, like so. Fold foot down, bring it all together. And then once it's all down, I like to bring that front section in one more click just to clean it up a little bit more. Rotate all that to the front. Make sure everything's nice and tight in there because we are going to need these legs to work. All right, now let's put those shoulders down now. They will tab firmly into place into the torso. Go ahead and give these spoiler halves a rotation just to give some paneling down the arms. Fold out the fists, and with that, the last step is to crunch the abdomen down, which is on a double hinge, and you're going to hear, you should hear a nice little solid connection point when you get that into place correctly. And that's going to be your transformation. It's a nice bit of transform. Yeah, nice little conversion on this toy. I do like how much of it like hides up into the legs. They collapse together very well to create like this solid look, and they function all well. Like, it's a really nice little transformation. Like, I've always liked the Mirage mold in the first place. You just make me like it better. That's all you do. So Crasher in her robot mode, definitely looking the part. You can see some of that machine robo in her, and you can definitely see that classics Crasher slash movie Fracture. Whichever way you want to interpret that character, this is the vibe I'm getting, and it's a very, very nice one. Very, very nice. We're going to start in the traditional place and by looking at the head, and this is where there's a little bit of contention with this toy. So just like Fracture, it's a straight up repaint of Mirage. So it is using Mirage's head, which by and large is not a bad thing because it does have the round dome shape that is familiar to Crasher. It has those wide areas outside of the face. But this is using the toy version of Mirage's head rather than the cartoon accurate, which does give it some difference, and it is closer. But Crasher does have a very distinct face shape, which I'm hoping one day Transformers will render. It's not part of the Machine Robo toy. It's part of the physical design of the animation character. Technically, Hasbro should own that. So I'm hoping to see that someday. For now, I don't think it's a bad compromise, although it is a little bit weird. I don't like that molded line that's going horizontally across her face. That's a little bit odd. I do like the heavy eyeshadow. That's a good throwback to Crasher's traditional design. So that conveys the character in the original design a lot better. So it's a compromised piece, admittedly. However, for what they have to work with, I do think it is a fine compromise. With with them getting closer and like inching closer, this time we got the actual name of the GOBOT character. I'm hoping at some point, like, Hasbro's going to get the guts to just go, like, yeah, next time, full head sculpt. It's actually going to look like Crasher this time. About the only reason why I would want a new Mirage toy. Crasher. Alright, so looking her over, she's a very clean bot, just like you would expect if you know the Mirage mold. A little bit of kibble behind the legs, but that's really about it. Everything on her is just so sleek, and everything is just so clean. It is beautiful. It is a very, very nice figure in form. I like the proportions too. The one thing about Fracture that is kind of off-putting if you view them as the GOBOT character is they're just too scrawny. Crasher is a big, burly girl. Like, she can rough you up. Like, she looks like a linebacker. Like, she's wide. So this has width. It has, like, wide shoulders. It has a wide chest. It looks the part of Crasher a lot better than Fracture did. Even if I would say this head sculpt doesn't suit it as much as the one from Classics, but that's a matter of taste more than anything. What is not a matter of taste is how much went into this toy in order to get this homage right. Like I said, there's a ton of paint going on here to make it work. Aside from how much paint is in that chest to make all those little red details pop, across like the 0-1, keep in mind, this is a fake chest front. So this is all a lot of paint to make this work. Meanwhile, the shoulders are completely painted. You can see right there on the inside, that little bit of white showing through is the actual plastic color. You can see how much of the spoiler is painted. The lower arms, painted in 2 colors. There's the raw plastic behind it. The entirety of the lower legs. You can see, again, the raw plastic hidden inside the parts themselves. There is so much paint on this toy, like a ridiculous amount. For how budgeted Transformer Deluxes are today, the deco work on this thing is immaculate and lavish. Like, there's very few parts on this toy that did not see paint, and they're usually that palm plastic that can't be painted. This is a stunning job, a stunning deco in order to get that homage right, and I really do appreciate that, especially in a specialty line like Velocitron. I would expect the extra mile, and that's what I get on Crasher here. Now, if we look at articulation, for starters, ball joint in the head works all the way around and gives you an up and down motion as well. It's a wide, low helmet, so it can get caught on the hinges here and there, but for the most part, it's okay. It's still good range of motion. Great range of motion in the shoulders, nothing hindering those. Universal motion there. Full bicep rotation, 90-degree elbow, nothing in the wrist. We do get a waist joint though. Universal thighs and hips. Let's see, the thigh swivel works perfectly fine to get the leg all the way around. Knees just beyond the 90. And then an ankle tilt as well, giving her plenty of room to crash into whatever she wishes. Really, really good articulation, as you would expect. This is pretty standard level articulation these days, and it definitely gets a lot of her poses and characterization out. If we want to arm her, we do have the same weapons from Mirage. They're cast in black now, so we've got a standard laser weapon that we can install into one hand. It is 5mm ported on the back if we want to add anything to it. For instance, this. So this would be Mirage's shoulder cannon if we were talking about the Siege version, but the remold, for whatever reason, does not have a peg on the shoulder with which to actually mount it the way Mirage would. It's the one big flaw to the Mirage toy. However, that doesn't matter to Crasher. Crasher don't care. Crasher's just going to hold all of her weaponry. In fact, I can take that nozzle off. I can plug that in as just a little minigun. And here's what else I can do. I can take the laser. I can connect it onto the other rifle. We can do it like this. And then she actually has some extra ports that we can access now. Look at how much kit she can do in this mode. We have 5mm on the back of the shoulders, on the back of the forearms, in the center of her back, and then we have more. We have the ones that we accessed in the vehicle mode as well as ones up here. Tons and tons of connectivity, and then there's more on the feet. If you've got weaponizers lying around, I'm looking at Red Cog that's still at Target to this day and will probably be there for a while. Tons of parts, tons of spots for them to connect. So we can have this big underslung weapon that she can hang on to, and if I could, if I'd actually planned this out, I could actually have her holding properly. But you get my drift. She works really, really well and has a lot of nice accessory options, not only in what she comes with, but also if you want to add anything else. So that, my friends, is Crasher. And I'm thrilled that I can actually present a Transformers Crasher after so long. It is a great redeco of the toy-accurate version of Mirage. Really, really solid figure in the first place. Good transform, good level of articulation. You throw in everything else that they did to make this toy really pop, I think you've got a very suitable version of Crasher that we can accept into Transformers until legal things start straightening out. Maybe one day we get something dead accurate. But for now, I think this is a good compromise, and I would be happy to call any Mirage repaint at some point a Crasher, if we get lucky. But that is my review. As soon as this toy is available at your Walmart, grab it. She is a really good one. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.